Hey, good morning, everybody. Coming back at you with another video today just because I've got the time, and sometimes it's been really cool for me to be able to do these videos and feel like I'm talking to someone other than, the people that are on this installation. So that's kind of been a really good outlet for me, and I just want to share. Today, I figured I just wanted to share with you kind of who I am. This may only go as far as like my 8 soldiers here on base, but maybe one day people will start to go back and look and say, "Oh, what's this video from this lady with, 5,000 followers or, you know, 500,000?" So, just to give you my backstory and just kind of talk about who I am. Again, as I mentioned in one of my other videos, this has kind of just been a way for me to put myself out there and really just, I don't know, I feel like gain like a better experience and knowledge in my own self, as well as to bring people into me and my life and my story, and hopefully encourage somebody or be able to relate to somebody. So with that, let's get started. So first, I just want to talk about, I was raised in Southwest Minnesota in a town called Hadley, Minnesota. I think growing up there was about 80 or so people that lived in that city, and today it's probably around 60 if I had to guess. The majority of that population, it was all Scandinavian: the Clausens, the Larsens, the Johnsons, the Petersons. Made up pretty much every family in town. Oh, and don't forget the Swedes. So the Swensons or something. I don't know. My grandpa always had a thing about the Swedes. So, but I grew up there, and actually my grandparents were right next door to us my whole life until I was 13 when my grandmother passed away. But so I grew up in this super small, itty bitty little, predominantly white town, and it was kind of a trip. I tell people today, like, where I'm from and, like, kind of the culture and the climate of that town when I was growing up, or even today still, and they kind of chuckle, but it's definitely home to me, and I wouldn't change where I was raised. I wouldn't change anything about it. It's definitely made me who I am, and I love being that little country redneck bumpkin from the middle of nowhere. So I'm proud of that, and for anybody else out there who might be able to relate, for me, I couldn't get away from there fast enough when I graduated high school and joined the Army. And I think for me, joining the Army was a huge way for me to get out of there, because I just saw so much more for my life. Not that there's not anything there. My father is still there, and he's done very well for himself, and he loves his life there. However, when my parents divorced, my mom went to the Twin Cities, and that's where I ended up. So my husband and I and our girls are there now, and so that's where we reside. But yeah, small town Hadley, Minnesota. Nobody knows that name, but it's something that's really, really close to my heart. Growing up on Sundays with baseball, and I don't know, and I'm wearing a baseball tee today. Look at that. Not that that's a thing, but I love, in a sense, that sense of community. Although it is small town, gossipy, you know, your grandfather held a grudge against my grandfather, and it's been that way for 60 years now. Silly, petty stuff and drama and whatever, but overall, just that sense of, I don't know, just oneness with a community because everybody is really unique, and definitely something that I don't necessarily have today living in, Eagan, Minnesota. So I just wanted to share that with you. And then I'll just kind of take you maybe step by step. This could be a completely unorganized hot mess, but we'll see how it goes. I worked at this little diner about 5 miles down the road when I was going through high school in the summer times. And then after my folks divorced, I lived with my dad in the summers. And I still worked at this little diner in Slayton. And, I would drive back and forth, and it was a cute experience. When my grandma was growing up or when my dad was growing up, it was like a car hop, like in the 50s. It was made out of an old train car. So it was really cute. And I just remember putting my 2 weeks notice in there when I joined the Army. And I'd actually taken a day off from work there to go over to Sioux Falls and go through my MEPS process and stuff. So I remember it like it was yesterday, which is crazy. Out of all the things I've experienced over the last, 12, almost 13 years, that's one of the things that I remember. And kind of that first step into like doing something bigger or more, going places or traveling. So that was really an exciting moment for me in my life. And I was 17 at the time. So it was a big deal for a little small town girl who had never experienced much of anything really. So I joined the Army. After my senior year of high school, I went to basic training, went to my AIT, Advanced Individual Training, over at Fort Lee, where I became a generator mechanic to start out with. And went through that, battled with boys and stupidity, and I don't know, I was just a young idiot. And I moved to Seattle and back, and then went back to college for a semester, decided I didn't love it. And then during my semester at college, I actually worked. I gotta get my coffee. I actually worked at a pool hall in Burnsville called Shooters, which it is what it is. It's a kind of a crusty old pool hall, but it became home to me in the Twin Cities. So a lot of my connections with humans, like the girl who does my hair, her and I were waitresses together 10 years ago now, actually, now that I think about it. And she's still the only one that I'll let touch my hair. So I built a lot of really good relationships. Even my massage lady I met there. So there was a lot of community and a lot of kind of building a life for myself in the Twin Cities when I had first moved there. So I do love that place, and I always joke with people if I ever want to drink, go stop somewhere for a beer, that I always know that I can go there and I'm never going to drink alone. So it's definitely a sense of community and belonging that not a lot of places have. Pool players come from all walks of life and just are different in general. So a lot of interesting careers. And I mean, my best friend I met there, she's a physical therapist, and you have everybody from that to, the guy who does wedding photography to, actually, now that I think about that, a girl I waitressed with that now runs a successful photography business. And so a lot of dreamers, a lot of professionals in there too, but just a really cool community that's just kind of just all mixed up, and I loved it there, and I still love it. But moving forward into that, I worked there, whatever. Went on to, when I left there, I worked for an armored truck company, and then I worked at the casino over in Prior Lake at Mystic Lake for a little while. Actually, was it 3 or 4 years maybe? And there I started in security, and then I went into dispatch, which I loved. And then I applied for a promotion into surveillance, which I got. And then I just didn't love it. It wasn't everything that I thought it was going to be, and I really missed the dispatch. But unfortunately, due to conflict of interest, I couldn't go back into dispatching in that environment. So when I left, I went back to Shooters and started bartending and waitressing again until I got my full-time position that I have now with Dakota County, and as a 911 dispatcher there. And I absolutely love it. I have such a passion and a drive for helping people and being able to be a positive something in someone's day. So I dreamt a long time about that job and being able to help people that way. So I've really loved it, and I've been there, I think this year will be, I think we're at 5 years this year. So, or maybe it's 4. I lose track of time. I've been now deployed, and I had a mobilization before this also for 18 months. So I have spent a good bit of time away from a good bit of time away from there, but it's still been just an amazing environment for me to work in. I do only have like 1.5 years, so 3 semesters of college is all I've completed, which I'm not down on myself about. I'm cool with it. It doesn't measure up to in my world, it doesn't measure up to my baby sister with her master's or my mom with her master's in educational technology. They're hardcore smart women that, and I'm smart. I'm not going to discredit myself in that, but I definitely don't have that level of discipline, nor did I ever really like school that much. So they they both are people that I look up to, and me them too. They always remind me that, well, you've done so much with the military and you've done this and that. So it really is a good balance where everybody encourages each other. My mother is the most amazing Minnesotan woman ever. She'll make you a quilt and bake you banana bread and be passive aggressive all at the same time. She's absolutely wonderful. Probably my biggest fan, hands down. My sister might be a close tie. She is 2 years younger than me, and then I've got my brother that's a year older. And after my folks divorced, my mom remarried. So they were married 7 years when Kevin passed away. So I got 2 step siblings out of that as well, and they are amazing. My stepbrother Brandon is active duty Air Force, and he's in Pensacola. And then my stepsister is in Grand Rapids area in Michigan with her 5 incredible children and her amazing husband. So I've got this incredible family that's mine, that I either was born into or married into. Well, born into or got as part of my mother's marriage, and then my amazing family that I married into, which is the Morales family. My mother and father-in-law, they're in Puerto Rico, as is my sister-in-law and her husband. And then my brother-in-law, Tony, and his wife are in Florida. And then we've got our 2 beautiful girls. So I literally have everything I ever could have dreamt of having. And I'm missing it right now. I'm missing it a lot. Last couple weeks have been hard. So staying busy with things like these videos and helping other people find their calm and their chill and helping people relax has really been a good outlet for me and a good distraction. I'm not going to lie. I'll take a distraction any day over dealing with my emotions at the time. So guilty of that. Yeah, it's really, I guess I just need an outlet to just blab and talk to somebody. And I felt like doing it in a video was my best shot, I guess. So I still have a little bit of time here to get ready for work. Again, I got some training today, and I'm going in a little bit later than usual, but I do still have to go to work after that. So if you guys have any questions or I don't know, responses or anything along those lines, let me know. So this is just me starting out and trying to get my feet under me and reminding myself where I came from. So if you can relate, if you are on the opposite end of the spectrum, whatever it is, share something with me, because I could use all the encouragement I can get right now. And thank you for watching. I'm going to throw this one out there for the first time. I think this is like my 4th video, but if you're digging any of this content at all, even kind of, subscribe to my channel, please. I think I have 2 followers. One's my husband, and one is one of my soldiers who's ridiculously loyal and faithful. So she's been an amazing support and encouragement for me, and a great pile of ideas too when I need them. So she shared a lot of this excitement with me, and yeah, it's been amazing to be able to have her here with me. So again, if you like any of this stuff, hit that subscribe button. Like my page on Facebook at Kalma. Hit me up on Instagram at Rae, RAE_D8. Radiate, get it? DIATE. So that's all I got for you guys today, and hopefully I didn't get too long-winded or bore you to death, but that's what I got.